Hello beautiful people, happy Saturday and welcome to your astrological forecast for next week. I'm recording this few hours after the new moon in Cancer because for me here in Bulgaria it happened right after midnight. So yeah, just digesting everything, and actually full disclosure, I am feeling a little bit weird. This new moon in Cancer hit my moon and I had my lunar return yesterday as well. And as we might be aware, we also simultaneously experiencing the square between Venus as the ruler of the South Node and Chiron today. And also, as we might be aware, because I talked about it last week, this moon itself squared the lunar nodes, but it was pointing to the North Node ruled by Mars, and Mars is also the ruler of Chiron, and today Venus is squaring Chiron. And yeah, you know, it's a lot, there is a lot to process, and actually I would like to do things a little bit differently, and I would like to start with opening this space and inviting my guides and my higher self to support me in this video, because I really need some help today. And also, as most people are potentially aware, I channel most of my content, so I just want to acknowledge and invite my guides into this space officially to co-create this video with me. Okay, so let's move from here. So today, Saturday the 6th, as I mentioned, we just experienced the Cancer new moon last night. For some of you it happened on Friday, for some other people on Saturday. It doesn't matter, it all happened in the same time, but as we know, we are experiencing this life from our own perception, therefore from our own time zone, wherever that is in the world. And yeah, as I already touched into it, Venus is squaring Chiron today. This is evolving the cycle that began between the two of them on April 21st, which of course was right before the full moon in Scorpio, which took place on April 23rd. And this is a first quarter square, which is the crisis in action. What needs to change? Venus is in the sign of Cancer. It's all about our relationship towards our inner world, towards our inner sense of safety and security, towards who we think that we are, our identity, right? Cancer. So this is what we evolve in. And because this is a square and Chiron is in Aries, the resolution node this time is in Aries. It's saying, well, you are becoming someone completely different. There is this brand new world, this brand new direction that we are stepping into. And yeah, what it is that we are still holding on to with regards to the past, attached to, you know, Venus is the ruler of the South Node, that is preventing us from trusting and stepping into this, because we don't trust ourselves, because that's the Cancer, right? And Mars is in Taurus, ruled by Venus, and Mars is the ruler of the North Node, and Taurus is all about creating stronger foundation. So tomorrow, 7-7 portal. 7-7 portal is all about change, because 7 and 7 adds to number 14, which adds to number 5, and that is the frequency of Mercury and Uranus, which is all about change. So under these situations, and potentially in many cases for many people challenging circumstances, a change is being birthed. And of course, as I already previously mentioned, and this is not my teaching, this comes from Dr. Joe Dispenza, in order for you to create a different life, you need to become a different person. And this is exactly what we have seeded with this new moon in Cancer. And we will see much more clarity of this process throughout, you know, the continuation of this year. It is 11/11, as I just said that, until we reach the full moon in Cancer, which will be the illumination. And then, of course, next year with the new moon in Cancer 2025, this cycle will end, a new one will begin. So tomorrow also, moon is moving into the sign of Leo, which also I already touched up on last week. I said that it's very symbolic because, of course, Sunday is the day of the sun, and Leo is ruled by the sun. So tomorrow we're going to end this weekend, this week, this first week of July, and the first week of second half of 2024 with moon in the sign of Leo. And that's also how we're going to enter the following week, which is all about touching into our heart, touching even our purpose. We know that Mercury is already the sign of Leo. Mercury is still within a degree of opposition to Pluto. This is all about balancing. Mercury is trying to help us identify and also communicate, and in this case it's all what is your heart trying to tell you. And also because the ruler sun, ruler of Leo sun, it's still in the sign of Cancer, This is about our emotions, reconnection with our soul, with our language of our soul, and with our heart. So this is how we are going to make a different choices. This is how we're going to create a different direction, a different reality for ourselves, and become someone different, to react, and not even react, respond to the world and connect with it in a different world, in a different way, which is more this heart-centered consciousness. So we're going to start the new week, Monday the 8th, with Venus making a sextile to Uranus. Actually, next week is quite gentle. We have a lot of very positive aspects. So Venus is making a sextile to Uranus. This, of course, is evolving on the cycle that began between the two of them on May 18th, during which time Venus was still the rule of Jupiter. Jupiter was still in the sign of Taurus. This is the first sextile between Venus and Uranus. Of course, Venus is also the ruler of Uranus and has been since 2018 and will be on and off until 2026. And this first sextile is a Taurus flavor. Again, Taurus, we've had this Taurus coming up for a while now. It's about creating new foundation. It's a supportive process with regards to where we're going. Uranus is the ruler of Pluto. Pluto is retrograde, is forcing us to go inwards and reshape our inner landscape, to evolve, because this is what's necessary in order to be in alignment with the frequencies and energies that we are being introduced to, because this is evolution. Subsequently, on the same day, the Monday, Mercury, as the current ruler of Jupiter, Mercury being in the sign of Leo currently, is making a sextile to Jupiter in Gemini. So Mercury is the ruler of Jupiter. As I mentioned, the last time Venus had a conjunction with Uranus, it was obviously in the sign of Taurus. Venus was still the ruler of Jupiter, and this between Mercury and Jupiter is also the first sextile, which is the Taurus flavor, and the conjunction between the two happened on June 4th, which was right before the new moon in Gemini, which of course seeded this new multidimensional way of connecting with the outer world. So yeah, so it's interesting that we it's just, I don't know, perhaps it doesn't make sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me. You know, Venus was the ruler of Jupiter when she had a conjunction to Uranus, right? Now we have in Venus making a sextile to Uranus, Taurus flavor, and Mercury making a sextile to Jupiter. But now Mercury is the ruler of Jupiter, and it's just like how we continue in this process. We can see how the planets are supporting one another. So as I mentioned, these are very positive, supportive aspects. And then also on the same day, we are experiencing Mercury making a trine to North Node in Aries, 10 degrees 14 minutes. And their conjunction happened on March 18th, which was of course right before the eclipse season, right before the equinox, and you know, right before the first eclipse of the season, which was the Libra lunar eclipse ruled by Venus. And this is a this is a trine between Mercury and North Node. It is the first trine, which is a Leo flavor, and Mercury is in the sign of Leo, which is about who did you come here to be, this self-actualization, this purpose and destiny. And North Node in Aries is saying, yes, we're going in this new direction, which has to be in alignment with that. You know, because like, why else would be still, this is an age of Aquarius, this is no longer age of Pisces. We didn't come here to sacrifice and be a martyr and victim. No, this is the age of Aquarius. It's all about sovereignty, stepping into our true essence. And because, you know, Aquarius in opposition is Leo, right? Mercury is still opposing Leo, still there is a degree opposition, in a sense, you know, just about, but still within 10 degrees. So Mercury is making a trine to the North Node. So this is again supporting us. So we can see how on this one day, everything is showing us what's happening. Venus is the ruler of Uranus. Uranus is the ruler of Pluto. There is a first sextile. Venus is in Cancer. It's saying, yes, we are learning about our emotion, our relationship to ourselves, and therefore our relationship to the other, because everything is connected. Cancer, Scorpio, you know, Pisces, it's all part of the whole picture, wholeness, the source. Then Mercury is the current ruler of Jupiter. Jupiter is a storyteller, is the story that we are creating as a collective, this new story. And it is in Gemini. It's saying, well, it's not going to be the same thing for everyone, because we're tapping into all these different timelines, and it's depending where you at, you know, where is Mercury and how this is showing up in your life, because Mercury is continuously moving and changing. Mercury is in Leo. It's saying, what is your heart telling you? Because Sun is unique. Sun is just for this lifetime. It's saying this is your authentic expression for this life. This is who you came here to be. So that's why Mercury being the ruler of Jupiter, this is going to look differently for different people. And then we have Mercury trine in North Node subsequently at the same time. And of course, 2 days later, we'll have Jupiter trine in North Node. So yeah, so this is helping us to make a choice that is in alignment with who we are becoming, not who we were or who somebody else told us we should be or projected onto us all these labels, but who we are really, which we can only find within. This true identity can only be found within. Is the Cancer, is the moon, is your inner world, is your high priestess. You will never find the answer that is right for you from someone else necessarily. It has to resonate. Yes, other people can support us, create a safe container, you know, can walk this path with us, but they can't walk it for you, and they cannot tell you what to do with your life. And this is where we have to tap into our heart and say, what is the right thing for me, despite, you know, maybe nobody else agreeing, against all odds. What is the right thing for you? So this is what we're learning at the moment. Tuesday, moon is moving into a sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. As I keep saying all the time, every single time, Virgo is all about learning and adjusting. It is the hero's journey. So this whole week is about us, like, in a sense, tuning in, because this is not even like doing something. This is like literally like allowing this energy of the new moon in Cancer to settle within us, and to really feel it, to really tap into it, and to really not even try to understand it with our brain, logically explain it, because of course Sun is still in the sign of Cancer as the ruler of Mercury. So even though Mercury in Leo, it's very, you know, we can say, oh, it's very passionate, it's very fiery, blah blah blah, but no, Sun is in Cancer. It's saying, hey, tune it down a notch, because this is all water. This is all about emotions, about feelings, about intuition, about your higher guidance and stuff like that. So as I already mentioned, following that, Jupiter on Wednesday, Jupiter in Gemini is making a sextile to the North Node. And did I say it was going to trine the North Node, or it's going to trine the South Node? Jupiter in Gemini is making a sextile, supporting aspect to the North Node, because yeah, this is supporting us. We have a choice, you know, but you have to decide what do you want to choose, right? And it's trining the South Node, which is helping us to evolve that South Node, the South Node ruled by Venus, that was up till recently, at the time when she conjunct Uranus, she was still the ruler of Jupiter, right? As I mentioned already at the beginning. So this Jupiter is trining the South Node and sextiling the North Node. This understanding that we have a choice, Mercury being the sign of Leo, connecting with our heart, Sun as the ruler of Mercury being the sign of Cancer. You know, this is again connecting us with our intuition, and Moon currently is ruled by Mercury and is in the sign of Virgo. This is the adjustments we have the opportunity to make. That's why Jupiter is the storyteller, this new story we're creating, this new landscape that we're going to be interacting with outside of us, right? Because the inner landscape is this moon, right? Like our identity, our inner world. But the outer landscape, you know, Jupiter, this exploration, the adventure, this is what the soul came here to do. It came here to evolve and expand through adventure, through experience. Yeah, that's Jupiter. Jupiter is in Gemini, of course. It's saying, well, it can be whatever you want, you decide, right? And this Gemini, Jupiter is making a trine to South Node. It's supporting North Node, yes, sextile supporting aspect, but we need to take an action. But it's trining the South Node. It's saying it's time to let go of this past, you know, this South Node. It's time to stop over-identifying with this what was, or what somebody else told us we should be, or what the history said that, well, this is how it always was, so it has to be this way. No, it is sextile in North Node is saying you have the opportunity to take an action, make a choice for yourself through your heart, and through who you are becoming, this new way of seeing yourself, identifying yourself, which is not a continuation of the labels that we were being plastered on by the external environment, because the reality that we want to create and experience has to be created from inside, not outside. Because if we allow the external environment to influence our manifestation, then we will create a reality that we are being influenced to create, and then it very likely will not be the one you want to experience, which again will be the learning process that, okay, why is this happening for me, blah 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 blah, you know. And then so we go, you know, because Gemini is also about learning. It's the third sign of the zodiac, which represents the schooling system, right? The learning, like Three of Pentacles. So anyway, the important thing to mention, which was quite interesting for me to observe, was that the last time this Jupiter and the North Node had a conjunction was on June 1st, 2023. And why is this interesting? Well, first of all, it was right before full moon in Sagittarius of 2023, which of course is ruled by Jupiter. Then the other very important and interesting thing to mention is that only a day later, 2nd of June 2023, Venus, you know, the current ruler of Uranus, which is now the current ruler of Pluto, and obviously at the time Venus was not yet ruler of Jupiter. Jupiter was still in Aries at the time. However, Venus had, actually, let me think about this. So, no, Jupiter had made the conjunction 2023, that was only a year ago. No, my mistake, I'm taking that back. Venus was the ruler of Jupiter because this conjunction happened in Taurus. You see, this is why I need to have notes. Okay, so yeah, so the last conjunction between North Node and Jupiter took place in the sign of Taurus on 3 degrees 37 minutes. At the time, Venus was the ruler of Jupiter and of the North Node. This is June 2023. I was thinking June 2022 for some reason. Venus, the day later, Venus was in Cancer, which is interesting because all about this inner world. Venus is in Cancer at the moment, and Venus made a trine to Neptune in Pisces, and it happened on 27 degrees 29 minutes. This is important. 27 degrees, number 9, almost there, culmination. 29 degrees. 29 degrees is 11, master number, frequency in Pisces, the totality. So in June 2023, when Venus was the ruler of Jupiter, and we know that Venus was also the ruler of Jupiter when Venus had a conjunction with Uranus as the ruler of Pluto, right, in May. So why am I, and then later on the next day, 4th of June, Mercury as the current ruler of Jupiter, because everything is, you know, the time is not linear, but we perceive it as linear. Mercury made a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus. But okay, the most important thing to pay attention to here, apart from the fact it was right before full moon in Sagittarius, which is the illumination of the story back then, 2023, whilst the, you know, North Node was still in the sign of Taurus, and Venus was the ruler, and Venus was the ruler of Jupiter, which she isn't anymore. Venus, that is now the ruler of the South Node, made a trine to Neptune on 27 degrees 29 minutes. Now, why is this important? Because only a day later, this is now, present moment, July 2024, only a day later, Venus is again trining Neptune, also from the sign of Cancer, because Venus is still in the sign of Cancer. Venus is also making, so it's interesting. We had a Jupiter conjunction to North Node, 2023, right? Now we have a Jupiter sextile to North Node and a trine to South Node, ruled by Venus. And only a day later, so in 2023, the day later, Venus made a trine to Neptune. And now, 1 year later, well, a year and a bit, same thing happens. Jupiter is making an activation to North Node, but this time, of course, ruled by Mars, but it's trine in South Node. Trine is always more important because it's something that already we can see much more has been put into it. Sextile is you have to take an action, is the beginning, or, you know, the cycle is dissolving. But now, a year later, we have a Jupiter trine in the South Node, and Venus only a day, well, Jupiter is trining the South Node, and only a day later Venus is again trining Neptune. Now Venus is the rule of the South Node, the node that we are evolving, that we now need to not like move away from, because it's always going to be part of us. You will never forget who you were. It's always going to be part of you. What happened already happened. We cannot delete it, right? Even though, yeah, there is a Mandela effect and all the rest of it, which we're not going to go into here, but Venus is now making a trine on Thursday the 11th. Venus is making a trine to Neptune retrograde, which, as we know, as I mentioned, retrograde planet is on an accelerated path of evolution and is forcing us to go inwards. What does it mean in this case? Of course, Neptune is the ruler of Saturn. Actually, right before Venus trines Neptune, Sun is making a trine to Saturn. And we know that Saturn was active during this new moon because it was trining it. Saturn was trining this new moon in Cancer. The exact trine between Sun and Saturn is happening on Thursday the 11th. So Thursday the 11th, Sun is trining Saturn. Saturn is retrograde, as we know, as of last week. Saturn is retrograde. The conjunction happened 28/2/2024. So, this is evolving the cycle. Of course, because of Sun, we're not going to go into this now, but, this has a little bit different flavor to other planets. Either way, it's a trine, okay? It's a trine. It's a harvest trine. So it's like, okay, yeah, we can reap the rewards of our flavor. Actually, it's happening on 19 degrees, 19 minutes. Interestingly enough, in Tarot, the number 19 is the Sun card. And this is a Sun, right? So this Venus is making a trine to Neptune retrograde. Saturn is retrograde, Neptune is retrograde. We know we are being forced to go inwards. We are still in a Cancer season because we need to restructure this inner landscape to see the restructuring of the outer world. It all has to start from within, So this time Venus is trining Neptune on 29 degrees 55 minutes. So like I said, last time it happened 27 degrees, 29 minutes, 27, 2 and 7, 9, almost there, culmination, closing, 2 and 9, 11, master number frequency, which is all about, and I mean, yes, it adds up to number 2, which can say it's duality, but it's also partnership, right? Partnership, co-creation with the spirit, Pisces, connecting the inner and the outer world, connecting the visible and invisible realms, right? The totality. 29 and 55 minutes. Again, number 11 and 5 and 5 is 10, is the ending. Is the ending. 5 and 5 is 10, and again, number 5. We are having 7-7 portal tomorrow. We are technically ending the week, starting a new one with 7-7 portal, which adds up to number 14, number 5. And actually, number 14 in Tarot is the Temperance, which is all about healing. Temperance represents Jupiter. So it's healing towards expansion, right? So just breadcrumbs, just paying attention what's going on here. But so far, as I mentioned, it's all very, very positive aspects. Doesn't mean it's gonna feel all easy, but this is like, yeah, we are in a flow, we have these opportunities to take, step towards what we came here to do. It's a trine, the soul is ready for it. So this is Venus, Sun making a trine to Saturn, Saturn as the former and upcoming ruler of Pluto. For the last retrograde, Pisces, Pluto is only going to be on 29 degrees when it ingresses back into the sign of Capricorn. 29 degrees is the same flavor as Pisces, is the totality, is the ending. I'm not talking about the degree theory, I'm talking about the energy of the degree. 29 degrees, 55 minutes. This trine between Venus and Neptune. It's also interesting that we have the 19-19, Sun making a trine to Saturn, 19 degrees, 19 minutes. Again, 1 and 9 is 10. 10 and 10, right? 19-19 is the double Sun because we are creating, we are co-creating, but we co-creating from inside out. Retrograde planets, we are restructuring the reality and the meaning and purpose of everything from inside out, and it's gonna mean different things to different people because you decide, because this is the Saturn. We need to take a responsibility and put our Capricorn hat on and say like, yeah, I'm making this conscious decision for myself, and this is the reality I am intending and seeding to experience. And interestingly enough, again, on the same day, Venus will move into the sign of Leo because, of course, she's making a trine to Neptune on the last minutes of the sign from the sign of Cancer. She's trining Neptune from the last degree of Cancer because, Venus at this stage is still in Cancer, which is all about our relationship to our inner world, our emotions, how do we feel and process our emotions and stuff like that, or can we? Because Venus is the rule of the South Node. Is that something we were being taught? How to regulate, how to feel, how to use our emotion for a conscious manifestation? Not that many people, especially not in these, older generations, my generation included. So on the same day, July 11th, Thursday, Venus is going to move into the sign of Leo. Again, Leo, it's all about this fire. Venus in Leo, especially from traditional astrology, they would say, oh yeah, Venus just want to be now wined and dined and experience all the luxuries and stuff, and that's part of it. Of course, that's part of it. It's part of our mundane reality. People with Venus in Leo, of course, they like the nice things in life, They want to be, especially women, want to be treated like a goddess, like, I want to be seen. You don't see me, what you mean, stuff like that. But from evolutionary astrology perspective, especially considering the Venus is the rule of the south node, this Venus entering into Leo, and this is again, we paying attention to the breadcrumbs. We just had the new moon in Cancer, seeding of the new identity, all this, you know, supportive aspect, Venus sextile to Uranus as the ruler of Pluto, evolution, Mercury sextile to Jupiter as the storyteller, the story we creating as, you know, collective consciousness, but we're going to be experiencing it individually from whichever perspective we choose, right? Mercury making trine to North Node, of course, yeah, we're moving ahead. What that's going to look like, well, is up to you. You know, Mercury is in Leo, you create it, right? And then we have this Jupiter making a sextile to North and trine to South Node. Yeah, we're ready to go, but you need to decide, right? And then, like I said, Sun trining Saturn, Venus trining Neptune, like, yeah, it's this complete restructuring. We are ready. You're ready to decide who you are, but you need to create it from inside out, right? And now Venus is moving into Leo. You know, Venus is moving into Leo, so she says time to create it. You know, now you had the opportunity throughout Venus and everything else, technically, transiting through the Cancer to, you know, to tune into yourself and to tap into who am I? How do I feel? Is this still who I am? Do I still resonate with this identity, with this persona? Or what is it, you know, this trine to Neptune as the last aspect Venus is making. Neptune is retrograde, saying, release it back to source. If it's not what you want, release it back to source. Have a love, compassion, and forgiveness for yourself and those that play the role that they were assigned to play by our higher selves, right? But now, if that's no longer in alignment, if it's no longer making you happy, if it's no longer, you know, allowing to experience life the way that makes you happy, give it back to source, release it, right? The trine to Neptune, retrograde, you know, we use this for our internal transformation, retrograde. It's this individuation of the archetype, Neptune, the meaning. What is the meaning of your life? You know, not everybody will have the same meaning, not everybody will agree, but it doesn't matter because you came here to express your own unique soul signature and that is unique to you. And now Venus, as the ruler of the south node, is moving into the sign of Leo, and Venus herself will make a trine to North Node soon. Yeah. Not this week, but she will. Okay, next week, I think. Following that, on Friday the 12th, Moon will move into the sign of Libra. Well, isn't that interesting? Ruled by Venus. What is Libra? Libra is a cardinal sign. It's all about balancing. It's all about justice. But actually, from evolutionary perspective, it is the mirror that is offering us the reflection of what's going on inside of us so we can learn. It's a feedback mechanism. So after everything that I already mentioned that is happening this week, now we have Moon moving into the sign of Libra to show us back, you know, like, oh, okay, you know, this is how it's playing out in the outer world. You know, it's like, well, I mean, obviously I'm not very computer savvy or IT savvy, but, you know, I'm sure people who are will understand that, you know, like, you like the coders, the people that are coders, you will code, you know, you will create the code, like, you know, this coding language, the language of the, you know, people who are do programming, you know, you code it, and then, you know, obviously when we shift it, because it's like different, it's like different reality, you know. When I know somebody showed it, I've seen, you know, how it happens, but, you know, when you look at the website or you look at anything on the internet and we can see the movie playing out or the pictures, you look at your website and you can see these beautiful pictures, this beautiful graphic design, you know, all the text, everything, right? But the way this is created is through coding. It's through coding, you know, people have to code it, they have to put all these symbols and whatever, you know, based on the coding language. It's like that. This is literally what it is. This is literally what it is. This moon moving into the sign of Libra on Friday, after Venus just moved into the sign of Leo, which is all about this creativity, you know, like what did we create, what did we code, and now this Libra moon is gonna mirror it back to us. So by the end of this week, you know, the week that we enter in on Monday, we will get a certain reflection, the world will start mirroring to us. Of course, this is just the beginning of the process. We will not have the totality until end of the year with the, you know, well, beginning of 2025, when it's the full moon in Cancer, and that's also still just the midpoint, right, to show us. But we will already start seeing, because now this is a deeply introspective week. We have all these sextiles and trines and, you know, all this Cancer flavor, and of course all these sextiles are Taurus flavor. flavor, which is supporting this Mars being in Taurus, you know, being the ruler of the North Node. And like I said, Mercury is trining the North Node. Venus is already moving into Leo, so shortly she will be trying. I mean, she's already within the degree trining the North Node as soon as she moves into the sign of Leo, but it's not going to happen just yet. I believe it's going to be active for the full moon in Capricorn number 2. But either way, staying present. On Friday, moon moves into Libra, and subsequently, I believe it's on the same day. Let me double check, because, you know, my notes can get a little bit chaotic. But I believe it's on the same day. Yeah, Friday, moon moves into the sign of Libra, exactly. And on the same day, Libra, ruled by Venus, right? And on the same day, Venus is making opposition to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, just like Mercury was now, you know, during this new moon in Cancer. Now Venus, as the ruler of South Node, is going to be making an opposition to Pluto. That's the first aspect she's going to be making, moving into the sign of Leo. She's going to oppose Pluto. What is opposition? Opposition is the balance. Opposition is Libra. It's the illumination. So I mean, you can't make this up. I mean, even if I wanted to be an architect, I couldn't make it look that, you know, like seriously, like we have all these aspects. Venus moves into Leo, moon moves into Libra, and on the same day, Venus in Leo is going to make an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius that has the frequency or the quality of Libra, you know, because it's an opposition. It's something that we need to see in order to establish the balance. Is this in balance or is it not in balance? And all of this, and actually, yeah, on the next day, a moon, I put it here in my notes, moon is going to make a conjunction to South Node, because moon is in Libra. Moon is going to make a conjunction to South Node and oppose the North Node. Because, you know, obviously North and the South Node are also always in opposition. So once again, I recap. On the Friday, so on the Thursday, the 11th, you know, Sun makes a trine to Saturn, Venus makes a trine to Neptune. This is all like, oh, Saturn, Neptune retrograde. This is all like, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Okay, we had this seeding, you know, we had this Cancer new moon. We know, we don't know logically, but we feel that there is something changing, shifting. We are becoming different versions of ourselves, because in order to create this new world, this golden age that we all want to experience, you know, this peace and harmony and love and joy and all the rest of it, we need to become different people. There are aspects of ourselves that we need to let go of, and things that we need to forgive to ourselves and others, and have compassion and understanding and understand the meaning why all these things took place, right? And then Venus is moving into Leo, creativity, creation, right? Connection to the heart. Venus is the relationship towards yourself, Taurus, and towards the other, you know, Libra, again, just the mirror, reflection. And then on Friday, moon moves into Libra, ruled by Venus. On the same day, Venus in Leo opposes Pluto. And the day later, on Saturday, moon, you know, that is ruled by Venus, is making a conjunction to South Node, ruled by Venus, and opposing this North Node, ruled by Mars, which is currently ruled by Venus. I mean, come on. You cannot make this up. I mean, come on. Come on, this is crazy stuff, you know? And of course, just for the reference point, Venus had a conjunction with Pluto on February 17th. So this is the midpoint, right? We know Venus actually is going to conjunct Pluto this year. She's going to have 2 conjunctions with Pluto in 1 year. Yeah, so anyway, you know, all that said, this is all about being the architect, like really being the architect of your life, you know, just like in Matrix. And, you know, Neo goes and speaks to the architect, right? You are the architect. You are the architect of your life, you know? And now having this point of identity reset or rebirth or whatever we call it with this Cancer new moon, I can feel it. I mean, I can feel it. I literally, like, I'm going to share tomorrow during my practical application of astrology, but this moon was something else. This moon was something else. And I mean, North Node at the moment is conjuncting my Mercury and my Venus. So that got squared by this moon that conjuncted my moon, like no kidding. And my natal moon is in opposition with Neptune. So I'm like, it's just like, this was quite a blow. That's why, like, oh my God, like, I don't even know what's going on here. Because we can't know yet. We are becoming anew. We are birthing a new version of ourselves, because we perceive the reality that has been manifested by the old version of ourselves, you know, whether in this lifetime, previous lifetime, our ancestors, which are us, and collective, which is us, you know, it's all us, you know, it's all source, it's all Neptune, it's all the same thing, right? And now we see the totality of the manifestation, with Neptune, of course, being in Pisces, now retrograde, Saturn as the structure of reality, as the matrix being in Pisces, all the rest of it, you know. And of course, Cancer, Capricorn, they come as a pair, you know, because it's your inner world and then the outer manifestation, the construct of that inner world, the concept, you know, you are the architect. So now having these three very important things that are going on, and they're all connected to Venus at the end of the week. And yeah, then we're just going to end the week with Moon moving into the sign of Scorpio on Sunday. Let's not forget that, which is about empowerment and disempowerment, ruled by Pluto. Pluto is retrograde. Ruled by Uranus. Uranus is ruled by Venus. Where is Venus? In Leo. I mean, come on. It just all goes in circles, you know. So anyway, so yeah, the week, after all this stuff, everything that happened, starting from the new moon in Cancer and taking us to the point of Venus opposing Pluto at the end of the week, and Moon making a conjunction to South Node ruled by Venus, and so on and so forth. Venus, the ruler of Uranus, Uranus, the ruler of Pluto, takes us back to the same place. We're going to end the week, next week, with Moon in a sign of Scorpio, which is saying, okay, Venus is still opposing Pluto, ruled by Scorpio, so okay, what did we learn? What did we learn in this week, you know, this week that is ending with this fixed sign, and it's saying like, okay, where are we at, you know? And then, yeah, following that, on Monday the 15th, we're going to have the Sun square in Chiron and the Mars-Uranus conjunction. And what is interesting about this, but I will talk about this next time, but I need to mention this just to make my geeky self happy. Sun conjunct Chiron. When did Sun conjunct Chiron? On the solar eclipse in Aries, as we know. Or that, because as I keep mentioning, it was the same degree, same minute, it was the exact conjunction. Exact conjunction. Chiron conjuncted the solar eclipse in Aries that changed everything. That changed the rest of your life, okay? That was the change. That is, your life will never be the same. Nobody's life will ever be the same after April 8th, okay? And funnily enough, April 8th, 8-4. The new moon in Leo is on 4-8, August 4th. Yeah, okay, just for the reference. Anyway, we're going back. So, Sun conjuncted Chiron, now this is a square. With regards to Sun and Chiron, it will be the last quarter square, which is crisis in consciousness, something we need to release, you know, it's like it blows your mind, literally, right? So, the eclipse during which Sun and Chiron had a conjunction, they were ruled by Mars. Of course, at the time, Mars was in Pisces. On the same day, as I already mentioned, Monday the 15th, we're going to have Mars-Uranus conjunction. This Mars that ruled the eclipse, when this conjunction between Sun, Chiron and Moon eclipse happened, and Mars was in Pisces. And this is where I was saying, this is the new reality that we will be co-created with the spirit, with our higher self. What is Cancer? Our intuition. What is Leo? It's our heart. It's our inner child, the gateway into the soul. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's like whichever direction you look at it, whichever way you identify it, it comes back to the same place, to the same thing. We are creating a new world that needs to be created from inside out, because we need to wake up and be a conscious architects of this world that we will be creating and experiencing. And it's going to be different for different people. And these people that will be in resonance with one another, whichever story it is that they want to experience, it doesn't matter. You know, they will be pulled towards one another. This is the Aquarius, right? But with, you know, especially on Monday, but like I said, I'll talk about it next week, because this will be, of course, the precursor to the, you know, full moon in Capricorn number 2, 29 degrees. This Mars-Uranus conjunction on the same day as Sun-Chiron square. This is going to be something different. So let's stay present and focus on the week on our hands that we have coming up right now, with all these beautiful sextiles and trines, and Venus moving into the sign of Leo, which, yeah, Venus just wants to be happy in Leo, okay? She wants to have a purpose. She wants to be treated well by life, because that's what we came here to do. We came here to have an experience. We came here to contribute towards making the world a better place than we found it. But at the same time, this is not a Pisces age anymore. We didn't come here to do all of this through sacrifice and suffering and pain, because there is enough of that in the world already. Now we have to create the polarity, the joy, the, you know, the higher frequency of Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus, this meaning and beauty and art, you know, and this connection, you know, like when you, if you watch anyone, I mean, including children, they are the best, obviously the best ones expressing that. But when you watch artists, whether they are singers or painters or whoever, you know, doesn't matter, you know, everything is creation, everything is art. But, you know, these are the simplest one for us to understand, because, you know, this is how we were being conditioned. Oh yeah, art, it has to be a music, it has to be a piece of painting, everything is piece of art, right? You are a piece of art because you are creation of God, universe, whatever, doesn't matter the label. Let's not get lost on the labels. So anyway, let's just keep it simple for the analogy purpose, for the example purpose. For example, let's say the musician, yeah? When you watch a musician that is in his flow or her flow, doesn't matter, whoever is the sex, you know, this being that is in the state of flow, that is channeling this music, whether singing, playing, it doesn't matter what, they completely lost, and it's that connection to that invisible realm, to that higher self, to the spirit, yeah? It's the connection to all there is. Where is this music coming from? Where is this poetry coming from? Where is this art coming from? It's not coming from the brain. Like, yeah, you know, you can say, oh yeah, these people, they have to learn certain, you know, this technical stuff, you know, how to play certain thing, how to tune an instrument, how to, you know, I mean, I don't know, I never studied these things, use colors, you know, or whatever. Yeah, you can say there is certain technicality, you know. Just like with astrology, yeah, we have to learn the technicality, like, okay, you know, what is the symbol for the signs and for the planets and who rules who and stuff, but then you have to let it go. You know, you cannot every moment, especially if you are an astrologer or astrology enthusiast, you cannot every moment of you looking at the chart start thinking logically like, oh, what was it my teacher said? What was in my notes? Like, oh my God, is this right? You know, like, no, you just get lost in it. You just start talking, to just start saying the story, because Sagittarius is mutable, you know, Jupiter is mutable. Jupiter is in Gemini. It doesn't get any more mutable than that. It's literally like, come on, you know, it's in Gemini. Like, it's whatever you want, you know, just like the art, you know, like it can be whatever you want. You know, you look at Picasso and some people will say, what the hell is this? You know, this is not an art. And then it's cost billions, you know, okay, millions maybe, but who knows? Who knows what is the price of Picasso these days? But that's what I mean. It's a subjective perception of reality, you know? There is not one story. There is not one size that fits all. There is no one perception. There is not one way to identify or digest information, yeah? So this entire week that's coming up as an after effect of this Cancer new moon, which was a complete identity reset, I can tell you, I am not the same person I was yesterday. Like, I mean, there was so much stuff that happened in my life in yesterday, within the 24 hours when I had my lunar return. There was so much stuff that happened, not necessarily tangible physically, but literally my brain was cooked. It was cooked. It was like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening here. And now you wake up and it's a new day, you know, and every day is a gift. Every day is an opportunity to create. So going back to where I started 5 minutes ago, you as a soul, you as a spirit, as an incarnation of your soul, you know, your higher self, your oversoul, or whatever you call it. It doesn't matter the labels. The labels are irrelevant, you know, because we cannot describe the totality and the concept of Pisces, of source, of spirit, of soul. We don't have the words for it. The human language is limiting. It's limited. We don't have the language for it. So, you know, just tap into it. You as this soul, you know, which is obviously comes from the source, you know, you've been poured into this avatar when you took your first breath. You know, when you were born as a baby and they slapped you or whatever happened back there, that's when your soul became present in your body. It got activated, this breath, you know, the breath connects you with the body, you know, it connects the spirit with the body, with the human self. You know, we're not going to go into all these theories about, okay, when, you know, when are we alive? You know, is it the point of conception? Is it when the baby is growing? Which month is it? Is it when we're born? The soul becomes fully present in your body when you take your first breath. You know, this is where thing gets activated. You know, the miniature details in between, like the soul is coming and going. soul is coming and going, you know, it's not fully earthbound until you take the first breath, yeah? So then there is this beautiful journey this soul came here to experience as a fool, yeah? But now we live in the age of Aquarius. This journey is not going to be the same one you've been experiencing throughout your reincarnation in the past 2000 years. It's not going to be the same. It's not supposed to be the same. Because now we're looking at the North Node in Aries. And this Cancer new moon, which was very different from Capricorn new moon, because that one was pointing to the South Node. It's saying like, well, we still need to understand what the hell happened that got us to this point. Yeah, okay, let's see, where did we externalize the power? Okay, let's watch Venus, what Venus is doing. Well, Venus made a conjunction to Pluto 1 month later. Oh, okay, well, now we're having the opposition. We're having the opposition now. It's the illumination. It's like, okay, what do we know? What do we see? Well, now we need to look forward. We need to look to the North Node. And how we gonna, you know, how we gonna go in this new direction? Well, it's not going to be through the logical mind, because we know that's the archive of the past, and Mercury is in Leo and the Sun is still in Cancer. It's going to be attunement to your own inner world, which you are recreating, reshaping, and this is what is going to create the reality you will be experiencing. So you decide. And this is what Jupiter in Gemini is helping us with, because it's saying, well, I'll just expand whatever you give me to expand. You know, it's Gemini. Gemini is neutral. You know, like they say, it's like what, like archetypally wise, is like hermaphrodite or something. I mean, I don't know. You know, Gemini is not, Gemini and Mercury is not very attached to labels. It's like, you know, all this information, just bring it on. Okay, we have internet, perfect, more information, you know, but you need to use discernment. We have this Virgo. When is this moon in Virgo? Yeah, moon is in Virgo when Jupiter is making the trine to South Node. Of course it is. And also all this stuff that's happening on Thursday, you know, the Sun trine to Saturn, Venus trine to Neptune, Sun is actually also trine in Pallas, and then Venus moving into the sign of Leo. This is all happening while Moon is in Virgo. I mean, come on. I mean, this is like, I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, this is just like mind-blowing, this astrology. Oh my God, it's just like literally, and the more you tune into these archetypes, into these planets, the more they tell you. They will say like, oh, you want more? You want deeper layer? You want to go, oh yeah, you know, there's this discernment. Just use discernment, you know, whatever it is for you, you know, that you want to understand from this concept. Because there is million different ways you can look at it. You can watch million different astrologers. They all give you different interpretation. And they all right, you know, everything is valid. There is truth in everything, you know, because it's Sagittarius, it's Gemini, you know, it's like, meh, everything is true and everything is lie, unless it's the universal truth, unless it's the source, you know, the all there is, was, and ever will be. But yeah, even Pisces is mutable, it changes all the time because it's evolution. So anyway, guys, so this is gonna be a very interesting week, you know, this is literally the after effect and the digesting, because Cancer rules our stomach. We are going to be digesting these energies, you know, of this new moon in Cancer. And it is an exciting week. I mean, we have all these amazing aspects taking place, you know, it's fantastic. All these sextiles, you know, all these trines. Okay, yeah, today we had the Chiron square, which, yeah, is just saying like, okay, well, something has to change. You know, there's all this pressure, but this is connected to the new moon in Cancer. You know, it's saying like, yeah, what needs to change is us. You know, the way we identify ourselves and the, you know, the labels we attach to, that's what needs to change. Because you are not who you were told to be, that you were. That was all just a memory of the past. It's time to start looking forward, and it's literally like a blank canvas. You decide. You decide. Yeah? And this is what's creating the foundation of who you are becoming. And, you know, and really like Venus in Leo is literally like stepping into your purpose. Like, you know, the spirit is just like, you know, just pushing us like, hey, it's time to step into your purpose. What did you come here to do? What did you come here to be? You know? But there are all these layers that we need to release in order to get to that point, you know, because we are like a what do you call it? This Russian doll, yeah, matryoshka, you know, layer on a layer on a layer on a layer on a layer, and then you go like, oh yeah, but this is all me. Well, of course it is. But now it is the North Node in Aries. It's saying, well, but it's time to allow a new you to come and be present and to co-create this new reality that you want to experience, that would be something other than what we have the totality of understanding, what we've been experiencing for past thousands of years, which is this division, suffering, you know, this have and have nots, lack mentality, we don't love ourselves, we don't feel good enough, you know, and this all comes from the other, the child, you know, seriously. And I'm sure I already used this example. And I'm sure everybody who had children can attest that this is the truth. I don't have my own, but, you know, my sister sent me a picture each time this happened. When the baby first sees itself in a mirror, that's usually when they are less than a year old, you know, they're already crawling, they're already sitting, you know, so they're usually about 6 months plus. When they first see themselves in the mirror, you know, they start kissing themselves. This is so funny. My sister sent me a picture each time each of my nephews did this, and she was just laughing, you know. It's like the baby literally sitting there, and I know my friend's baby did it as well when I went to visit her last time. She was under 1 year, and she was doing the same. You put her in front of the mirror, she starts kissing herself, you know, like, oh, I love myself, you know. So when did this change? You know, we as a baby, you know, we as a soul incarnate go like, oh yeah, it's not gonna be an easy ride, but I need this ride, you know, I need to learn, I need to grow, I need to evolve, I want to have this experience. I love Earth. There is so much to experience on Earth. Earth is so beautiful. It's this, everything is possible to be manifested here. I don't know, I'm just getting very emotional, like thinking about Earth. So anyway, we come back to Earth, you know. Even though a lot of people right now living through these times will say, I didn't choose this, I don't want to be here. What you mean? You know, I don't want to be here. But we chose this, you know, like nobody is here by force. Everybody's got a free will. And if you don't want to be here, it's very easy to be gone. It's very easy. This human body is beautiful and it's strong and it's a perfect instrument. But it's fragile. It can be taken out very quickly, very quickly. So that's why we have to be very conscious and mindful about our thoughts, because we are becoming very, very powerful manifestors. We've always been, but things are accelerated now, so things are manifesting faster. So anyway, so imagine you are being poured into this body as a consciousness, because it's the soul, the spirit that animates the body, you know. Without the soul, there is no animation. It's just a shell, right? Which we can see when people pass on, you know. It's not the same thing. It's not the same person. It's just a shell, you know. That which makes you who you are is your soul. It animates the body. I already spoke about this. So when the first child starts being kind of conscious, you know, and it sees itself, it loves itself. Oh my God, this is me, this is the new me, you know, like the soul gets incarnated, and obviously each incarnation is different, you know, like, yeah, you have a soul signature, like there is a certain characteristic which is unique to you, but each incarnation is different. Your sun is different, you know. So you never were and will be exactly who you are right here, right now. That will never happen again. You will never play exactly the same role. No matter how many times you reincarnate, you'll never be exactly 100% exactly the same, you know? So this child looks in the mirror and go, oh, this is me now. Look at this beautiful baby, right? It starts kissing themselves, right? And it goes like, oh, I love myself. And then what happened? The conditioning, the program, the not good enough, you are bad, you are naughty, you this, you that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because our culture, religion, conditioning, memory, ancestors, blah, 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 you know, all this is what we were being told, right? Well, now everything is changing, because Mercury is in Leo, Mercury already was in Cancer, now Venus is moving into Leo, she's still in Cancer when I'm making this video, and Sun is still in Cancer, and Mercury is the ruler of Jupiter. And the Cancer new moon, your identity reset, was pointing to North Node. It's time to move on, okay? Mars is in Taurus. It's saying, okay, yeah, we're creating new foundation, ruled by Venus, currently Cancer, going to Leo, yeah? Same thing. We are creating a new foundation, new fertile ground that is going to be watered, because Cancer, watered by all these emotions, by all this attunement, and it's going to grow into something beautiful. And you decide what it's going to be, you know? Who are you becoming? So this is the week. This is the week when this is happening, you know? Like, it's really starting to go. It's starting to, you know, it's starting to... The conception already happened. You know, the cell division is happening already. You know, the conception already happened. You know, this miracle of life, it already happened. It happened last night. Now all this division of the cell started. And this week is supporting us in this cycle we just entered into. So yeah, it's beautiful. The energy of this week is beautiful. It doesn't mean it's going to be all easy and it's going to be showing up in our life like, oh, this is so easy, you know, like, oh, because we start in the week with Venus squaring Chiron, and we're going to end the week and start a new one with Sun squaring Chiron. This is going to poke where it hurts. It's going to bring everything that is unhealed within us, that is preventing us from stepping into this direction and purpose that we came here to self-actualize through. That all will come up. It will all will come up because it's this trine to the North Node from Leo. You know, it's this inner child that's going to start rebelling, going, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I didn't come here to suffer. What you mean? You know, I came here to have some fun as well. You know, come on. So yeah, you know, the soul has to be present. If the soul is not present, if your purpose is not being present in your life, it's going to get more and more difficult. It's going to get more and more difficult because this Leo trines the North Node. In Aries, it's saying, no, it's time. It's time to start living your purpose. What is your purpose? Whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you lost, like that artist in her music, or his, whatever, you know, or that painter, whatever gives you that feeling that the time doesn't exist, you know, I'm just doing what I love and I feel alive. So if that's not the case, if we're still connected to this identity that, oh, I need to sacrifice, I need to be, you know, martyr, and I'm not saying everything is possible for everyone straight away, but there could be steps taken towards it. You know, where do I can excavate more space and time in my life for this energy so it can start growing. So anyway, guys, I'm just going in circles here. Let's pull a few cards. I did not plan to make a long video because I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, literally, I'm going through my own stuff at the moment. I'm like, just swimming in the waters of my own emotion, you know, right here, right now. So I'm like, okay, Spirit, help. So Spirit has a lot to say, okay? Okay, let's pull some cards. I have some very interesting particularly these decks were really speaking to me, so you know, I'm going to pull. The first one is the Wisdom of the House of the Night from Colette Byrne-Reid. It's about the goddess Nyx, which is the goddess of the night, and this is because Moon just had a conception, you know, like in Cancer, the sign of Moon's rulership, you know, this only happens once a year, when Moon is reborn in his own sign of rulership. Moon in Cancer, ruled by Moon, right? Like, no kidding. So this Moon maybe has a message for us, because we already pulled the cards from Queen of the Moon Oracle last week, but this is the Wisdom of the... I just shorted to Wisdom of the Night. Okay, let's speak to the night, which is the Moon, the higher priestess. The Nyx is technically higher priestess. Let's see what is the message with regards to this Moon. What this Moon that at the moment has no... And that's the reason why I feel so, like, my energy is very fluctuating, because I am ruled by Moon. And I'm like, okay, the Moon has no light right now. So it's like, we really just need to tap in, you know, into your own inner dark, you know, this shadow we are afraid of, but it's this void through which everything is created. So there is nothing to be afraid of, you know, it's this like universe, you know, it's dark, you know, unless there are these stars and stuff. So anyway, let's ask Nyx what she wants to tell us with regards to this energy that just got concepted with the new Moon in Cancer. Okay, what is the guidance? Nyx. She's like, I'm not saying, you know, this is high priestess. You have to figure it out for yourself. Okay, there is the card. Strength. Number 35, number 8, of course, year number 8. Strength, and look at that, it's a tree. It's a tree. Look at that strong tree, you know, for the tree to have this strong trunk and to grow so tall and have all these leaves, it needs to have very strong roots, very strong foundation. The tree doesn't become this strong in one day. It takes decades, maybe even longer. So yeah, strength. This is what we're building. You know, we need to build the inner strength. So then we can face, well, create the reality we want to create, but also face whatever is the creation of other people if we're still interacting with that. And 35, yeah, 35, number 8. And what's it at the bottom? Wishing. Wishing well. Oh my God, it is the number 19. No kidding. What was it? Sun trine to Saturn on Thursday the 11th, 1919. 19 degrees, 19 minutes. 7-7 portal tomorrow on the day of the Sun. Moon moves into the sign of Leo. Leo, ruled by Sun. And here we have a wishing well. Wishing well. What are you wishing for? You know, you need to build the strength and create strong roots and become strong and resilient and grounded and trust yourself. Is the Taurus, is the Mars in Taurus, so your dreams can come through. The number 19, the card of the Sun. Look at all this light. You know, it's a vision on a star, but you know, it doesn't just happen on its own. We need to tune in. You know, it has to, it's like this feeling and attune with the frequency, but also then when you feel called to take the inspired action, right? But right now, it's not time for action. Right now, this week especially, it's time for this, you know, creating strong roots and yeah, being intentional. Being intentional. Okay, let's see what these two cards want to say, but I mean, like, come on. Okay, 35. This is so interesting. Okay, strength. This one with the tree, yeah? Sometimes life will present you with challenges that you think are too difficult to endure. Does it seem as if nothing goes your way and that everyone else appears to be having a good time? Be strong, my dear. Drawing this symbol means that no matter what is happening in your life, you have the strength to endure all experiences. Like an ancient oak whose trunk cannot be uprooted by mightiest storm, you will know a strength that comes from within. You will win this game of life. You have the strength to face any situation now. Yeah. Yeah. And this is why we need to create this new sense of identity. Not that I can't and all these limitations and conditioning of the past and, you know, our ego trying to keep us safe and protected, like not let's just stay in a comfort zone. No, Mars is going to conjunct Uranus next week, 15th, you know, on the same day as Chiron and Sun square. No, this Mars in conjuncting Uranus is like, no, we're breaking free out of this. We're going beyond. Okay, and the number 19, the wishing well, you know, so we have the strength. We are creating our stamina and resiliency, building our strength this entire year number 8. And then number 19, which is the wishing well, the card of the Sun, number 19. Okay. Is this one. My dear one, I hear your prayers, I know your heart, and I know what is for your highest good. Dreams do come true. Make sure your dream serves your highest purpose and does not take away from another. Be careful what you wish for. Remember the coins tossed in a wishing well. For every wish there is a price to be paid. Are you ready to spend the time and energy that your granted wish will require? Now is the time your wish will be fulfilled. Strength, foundation. In order for us to manifest our dreams come true, we need to have a strong foundation, which is connected to this identity that we are building for ourselves. Okay, let's have a look. What else is underneath? Lust. Yeah. Beware the devil energy. Where is the temptation? You know, 24, number 6. Okay, let's see what I'm just like very curious, you know. I'm very curious because the cards are being playful. Okay, let's see what the last one to say. My dear one, when the symbol of lust has come before you, beware that when you toy with this energy, you might become consumed by it. There is a fine balance between desire that is pure and an obsession that arises in the insatiable thrill of danger. Be careful what you desire. What you desire, you know, wishing well, what are we wishing for? remains good, and then your wanting doesn't cause hurt to yourself or another. It is best that you move cautiously forward. If you're asking about a relationship, you might be developing an obsessive fever that will take a long time to recover from. Ask yourself, what is the nature of your desire? Why do you want this so badly? Beware, there is always a hidden agenda in lust. What is yours? That is the ego. So, you know, this is like literally the polarity. You are creating a strength and a new foundation of your life because you're becoming someone else. And you have hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future, you know, that come from the light, that come from your higher self, the number 19, Sun, Leo, the purpose. What is your purpose? What did you come here to do? But at the same time, because of all the outer distraction, and this is a number 24, which adds up to number 6, and so does number 15, the devil card, number 6, number 15, and the 6 is the lovers, the choice. You know, what are you choosing to wish for? You know, is it like out of revenge? Is it out of conditioning? Is it out of hurt ego? You know, like, so we have to beware of, you know, this ego, what the ego is like, oh, this is not fair, you know, I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. Like, where is the intention and the wish and the hopes and, you know, for the future? Where is it coming from? Is it from your heart, or is it from the database of the past, from the other people, these stories we were being passed on, all like, oh, these people, they're different, or lesson, you know, like they are our enemies, they blah blah, all these stories, you know. So this is very telling, you know, like beware of the distraction and of the outer influence. Is the outer influence, you know, there is, look here, this person is alone, you know, she's tapping into her own heart, connecting with the light, being in silence and quiet, you know, connecting into her own roots, into her own foundation, into her own strength. What is the right thing for me? What is my heart telling me? Whereas, you know, just metaphorically, there is another person there. What is the outer influence that is trying to convince you that, no, this is what you should wish for, this is what you should vote for, because this is that, you know, this is what, but it's coming from someone else. The truest, purest intentions and, you know, the hopes and dreams for the future need to come from your heart, right? And this is why we need to create a strong foundation. This is why we need to know who we are and decide for yourself what that is, right? Okay, this is, yeah, I'm sure there is more to say about the deck, but I want to pull another one from different deck. This is the Energy Oracle from Sandra N. Taylor, and right at the bottom of the deck we have the Sun. Before I even shuffled, number 1, the sun, you know, and all this water. I mean, come on. You know, the tarot is loud and clear. This is so funny. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see intentionally the energy of the oracle. What further guidance are we here to know with regards to the current energies of the Cancer new moon that just took place last night? Okay, energy oracle. What is that? Ooh, ooh, ooh. 2 cards flew out. Okay, you seen it. You seen it happening. Okay, what do we have? Attachment and second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Second chakra, which is sacral chakra, which is our creativity. Is the orange one, right? Creativity. So that's Archangel Ariel. This is 39, 36, number 9. Endings, yeah? And number 5, attachment. What are we attached to? And look, she holds a mask. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Look at that. She's holding a mask. What is the identity that we are attached to? Right? And look at all that, like, purity. And also she's chained, like the, you know, like the devil card. You know, she's chained. Can you see the chain? She's chained to the stone, chained to the past. Capricorn, she's chained to the past, and she's removing her mask. What are we attached to that is no longer going to be supporting us? Saturn is in Pisces. It's no longer going to be supporting us. And the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Tap into your own creativity. You know, the sacral chakra, the orange associated with Archangel Metatron as well. You know, look at the difference. You know, it's like earthbound by the restrictions of the past and identities we were being projected into. The soul was pure. It was pure. The baby kisses itself. And then we are being given all these identities and all these concepts and all these stories that make us like imprisoned imprisoned by the matrix, by the construct, but it's time to create a different one, sacral chakra. Time to create that which one you want. You are a light being that came here with the purpose. Raise above this. This is not who you are. This is what you came here to be. 36, number 9. We almost there. 5, the disruption, the change. 7-7 portal tomorrow. I'm really curious what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, and at the bottom, happy family, of course. Number 4. Number 4, stability, security. You know, this is who we are. This is who we all are. So families, source, we all came from the same place. This is who we are. The rainbow, this is the potential for the future to create this. The new earth, number 4, that's what we creating. The number 4, the Cancer. Number 4, 4 is the Cancer house. Number 4, but we need to become it first. You know, again, this purity, everything is white. You know, the water, we must not be afraid to tap into our emotions, our intuitions. You know, the sky is the limit. Everything is possible. But this is where we are at the moment. We need to take off the mask. And the 36. Okay, let's see these 3 cards. I mean, the cards are strong today. Like they're really speaking loud and clear. Like, yeah, I'm speechless. Okay, attachment. Attachment, ego identity, being chained to the stories that we were born into. Perceived need and the choice to let go, upright. In the upright position, this card reveals that your passage forward is being stopped by strong attachments to old patterns or people from the past. The chain at your wrist. The chain at your wrist is bolted to fear from the past or desperation about the future. Although you might wear the mask of pretense or even contentment, you simply can't seem to go forward. The stuff that's keeping you stuck could be physical addictions, emotional patterns, or even old relationships. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, where is it? Where is our good friend? Here we go, the devil. Okay, here we go. Are you living in fear, addicted to old, unhealthy habits, or so desperate about the future that you can't be happy now? If so, the chains that bind you could be of your own making. This card is telling you that it's time to take the action you need to break out of your chains and move forward to be open, free, healthy, and authentically happy life. It may take some courage and effort to let go, but know that you are capable of doing that. Yeah, where is it? Strength, courage, strength. You can do it. The foundation is strong. Okay, where are we? You are able to do it. Until you do, the difficult energy will just repeat itself, keeping you stuck. Okay, if the card is reversed, because they fell out, so I don't know if they were reversed or upright. If the card is reversed, you know, if the card was this way, this card reversed is a wonderful indicator that an old negative patterns, relationship, or desperate oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why. We don't know if it's straight or reversed because you decide. Are we still attached to the old pattern or ready to let them go? So, whichever way, whatever, you know, wherever you at, there is no right and wrong, because the patterns will keep repeating themselves until we learn. This card reverse is a wonderful indicator that an old negative pattern, relationship, or desperate attitude is being released. As you continue to let go, you will be able to establish new ways of doing things and relating to others. The universe wants to congratulate you on your healthy new approach, but be sure to support the changes you're making in your ongoing choices. Some patterns can be deeply encoded, and you might need to continue releasing the old habits, all the while honoring the new decisions in your thoughts, actions, and interactions with others. You've broken the chains, and now you can walk away from the limiting attachments into the bright and unlimited future, which is the last card. Yeah. Okay, the 36. Let's move to Archangel Ariel. The number 36, you know, the solar plexus, which is about creativity and passion and joy. Second chakra, intimacy and creativity, upright. The second chakra vibrates in the energy of a beautiful angel Ariel. She sends a bright orange energy promoting inspired creativity, yeah, like the artist, just like what I was talking about. what the spirit was given me, the analogy of the artist being lost in the flow of that which makes you feel joyful and alive. Yeah, creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression and new project that you might have more creative approach. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy and that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive the affection and camaraderie of the resonant souls around you. Soul family. Reversed. So if this card is reversed for you. When this card is reversed, you might find that your creativity is being blocked. In this case, you might need to take more risks to open up to new and different ideas. Go inward and find the feelings that might be causing this blockage. Call upon Ariel to help you release old fears and self-limitations. Affirm that you are open to Spirit's love and creative inspiration. This card reverse can also signal problems with intimacy of all kinds and issues of sexual intimacy in particular. Visualize Ariel spinning a beautiful light in your second chakra, calming and healing the energy there. Know that real closeness can be both safe and comfortable for you, and then you deserve a depth of sharing in your relationships. An affirmation: my second chakra is open to its perfect healthy state. I am creative and self-nurturing, more and more comfortable with the gentle ways of intimacy coming my way. Okay, and I forgot to read for the number 5 the affirmation, which is the attachment. Okay, let's go back to that. The attachment, the affirmation was on the next page. I release, so with this one, the affirmation, I release attachments and choose peace. I am strong, free, and able to choose what honors me. And then, the creativity. Okay, and the last card that was at the bottom, which of course is the potential for the future, the vision for the future, the number 4, the new structure of reality, the golden age. Happy family, closeness, fun, and caring. And this one was upright. The rainbow over this happy family, soul family, we are all family, portends a time of joy and celebration. Close connections are available. Oh yeah. So don't overlook the fun and frivolity that a friend or a family experience can bring. The value that you find in a truly loving relative or friend brings a higher vibration to your life force. You might be distracted or busy, but remember to put this part of your life in forefront of your priorities. If you single, finding this card in your spread could indicate a potential meeting and perhaps relationship with someone who has children from a previous marriage. This ready-made family might bring some challenges, but it could be your destiny in this lifetime. This card might also simply signify a celebration coming up, such as wedding, anniversary, or birthday party. Enjoy. And if this card is challenged, so this is the potential of the future, but of course we need to meet the frequency. If the card evolves to be reversed, when a happy family card is reversed, it indicates a separation and emotional distance from family members or close friends. This disconnect might be from your family of origin, such as your parents or siblings, or it might be that something is standing between you and your present family members, whether it be your children or your spouse. There could be some hostilities that need to be worked out, or perhaps some fences that need to be mended. Communication and patience might be called for here, so let your intuition be your guide. Remember, real healing starts when you choose to become your own loving parent, sibling, spouse, friend, and a child. The lesson in every relationship is self-honoring, and sometimes the karma is just to let go. Affirmation: I open myself to a new and deeper experience of family, and I'm ready to see greater happiness there. I know that I am the loving family that I need. And this is the potential for the future, but I feel at the moment most of us are here, feeling disconnected from ourselves and others because of the attachments, because of the stories of the past, and because of not being tuned in our own creativity and not living the life of joy, and being unable, or feeling in a place where we cannot open to intimacy and deeper connections. So yeah, so this is perfect. This is exactly this new moon in Cancer. And Cancer, nurturing season, self-nurture, and Venus moving into Leo, it is about fun and joy and dating and romance and all that. But first we need to be able to give it to ourselves, right? Like the baby in the mirror that kisses itself. You need to love yourself, which is not easy because that's not what we were being taught. So just how can we bridge the gap, come closer? How can I be kinder to myself? Perhaps change the way I speak to myself. Perhaps have more compassion. See myself as the little child, little girl or boy that lives within me, and have more compassion for that, you know? So anyway, one more major arcana and we close with that. Let's see what the major arcana wants to say to cap this reading. Okay, the moon. Yeah, where do we allow the past to dictate our future because we don't want to look into our shadow? The number 18. Yeah, there's the Pisces card. And in opposition, we have the Hermit, number 9, going within to find out what it is that keeps recreating the same pattern. The moon, the past is coming around. Also, a lot of people think this is a card of Cancer, but it isn't, it's Neptune. Pisces, it's Pisces, but we can see the moon, and you know, like we just had a new moon in Cancer, which is bringing a lot of shadow to the surface, a lot of emotions. And yeah, the bottom is Empress, you know, the Venus, relationships, the 3, the opportunity to grow and expand. But yeah, where is it? We need this strong foundation. That's Venus, that's the Empress. Strong foundation. Look, she's in the nature, trees, be grounded. Venus, Taurus represents self-worth, self-esteem. We have all this sextile this week. Venus, Venus sextile in Uranus, ruled by Venus, no kidding. Number 3, Jupiter, expansion, you know, the sun, opportunity to expand, opportunity to have your wishes granted, right? The wishes granted, where is it? The well, wishes granted, opportunity for happy families, loving relationships. But first we need to face this. What brought me to where I am now? Become conscious of our unconscious patterns when the past comes knocking on the door to help us understand our shadows that keep recreating our future. We need to answer the call, you know, like this, you know, these animals, like, yeah, you know, like we face it, but not get lost in the past. You know, this is the same thing. Like, yeah, I know who I am. I know what I'm still working on. I know my shadows. I know my vulnerabilities. I know where I'm not perfect. You know, Virgo, the opposition. We think we have to be perfect. No, we'll never be 100% healed. We never be perfect. We didn't come here to be perfect. We came here to have an experience. Let go of that. Because yeah, it's not about feeling I need to heal everything and be perfect and, you know, being able to have perfect relationship with everyone. It's about I know who I am and I know where I'm at. And this is a working process. It's going to be going through life. So as long as I can accept myself, I know who I am, warts and all. I know my shadow aspects. I know what I'm still working on, where am I vulnerable. You know, the Neptune, but it's all part of the all. It's not just mine. It's not just mine. Everything you are and you are experiencing has been passed on. You know, we are playing these old patterns, you know, the old patterns of the past. And yeah, like becoming aware, but not feeling you have to be stuck in the past, that it has to recreate your future and influence your future because this is who I was, who my ancestors were, who I was, the role I played in past lives. No, we're creating a new foundation, stronger foundation that we grow through. It's all about the tree, the wish fulfillment. So anyway, guys, it's super long video. The spirit has a lot to say. Obviously, I can talk for England for sure. So I want to close this session. I want to say thank you to my guides. Thank you to my higher self and everybody who was present, all the beings of light. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope that you found the value. I hope it offered some clarity with regards to this time of unclarity, you know, with the dark moon, with there is no light. And yeah, and I wish you all, you know, intimate connection with yourself and the world and the life ahead, and to create and co-create that which you want to experience going forward. Yeah. So everybody have a wonderful week. I'll be sharing some more of my personal musings tomorrow, but much love to everyone, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.